now on LinkedIn. So, welcome people to LinkedIn Pe Charcha episode 33. We have a very special guest with us tonight. I'd like to introduce her to all of you who are watching this or will be watching this in the future. So, we have with us Miss Kirty Datar. She's the co founder at Canebot. She's a TEDx speaker. She's a Shark Tank India finalist. She's an amazing content creator. I mean, she's a multitasker, as you must have guessed by now. And it's my pleasure to be hosting you, Kirty. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Rahul, for such a warm welcome with you today.
Absolutely. And people who are watching this, we would love to, feel free to add in comments, or we would love to greet you as well. In the live session, any questions related to entrepreneurship or marketing or LinkedIn content creation, I'd be happy to take it up with Kirti during the conversation. Amazing. So I'll start with the first question, Kirti. My first question to you is: how did the idea of Canebot come into picture, and tell us about that journey, basically.
Great, great. So, Rahul, that's a great. You see, actually, my husband and and prior to this, we worked in IT for 12, 13 years, and then one five jobs and get into organized. So, certainly, it was a extra move, I would say. Yeah, but for us, it was a where it kind of purpose that we always had to be able to contribute consumers, to be able to contribute, because whenever being in IT, I have traveled a lot. Western countries, what I observed is people can take a very basic, create a brand out of it, this model out of it. So thought about this, let's pick up something local, very cultural to our country. So we can organize it, we can scale global level, not just in India,
Right.
but so that was a thought process, and it most of the boxes. So scalability potential, that if someone could take a cup of coffee, CD or a Starbucks out of it, it has equal potential. People don't need to acquire the taste. They all how we started the journey. A whole lot of we started is what I can say.
Amazing. That's a great thought, and that's a great work that you're doing. You're following your, calling, your passion. You're working towards it, and you're making. You thought about local to international rather than international concept to local. So that's a great, outlook towards that. And I'll follow my second question linked to this as well. That what are the challenges that you face, especially in the initial journey as a co-founder, so that all the aspiring entrepreneurs who are watching this will get to learn from your experience.
So to be very honest, I will say challenge entrepreneurship. No challenges, then probably you're not so. So practically speaking, stage gives you a whole started at that time like sugarcane unorganized sector. Something which is unorganized, you need to root level talk to farmers side, explain them the consistency and so on. Challenges which eventually came challenges about how do we in terms of automation, or started with semi-automatic kiosk area, and then came a stage for the scalable. There are a lot of challenges. Let's say, for example, put up the rentals. One are very high, and two, there are a lot of places available. So there was also that we could put up, and then we were level of challenge we came across, and then resolve it. We went back. Then what we came up with is that okay, design and develop a sugarcane thing. So currently the net it's a sugarcane robot. Now developed is simplest term, machine, which where a customer get the payment and a glass of fresh and served in a matter of 30 seconds. Advantage is that it occupies bit of space. So that makes now install at a variety of because of course it requires less and even at places where it now those places have become accessible. So at each stage when you come up as an entrepreneur, you keep on covering yourself and then basically.
Right, absolutely. Very well said that entrepreneurship, I think, is a firefighting job. Every day you have to face that
Yes.
fire. And I think aspiring entrepreneurs who are watching this is a very realistic side of what entrepreneurship is all about. So I think a lot of times I've seen people going into entrepreneurship just because their friends are doing it or just because it looks fancy. But I think in the downside, in the backside, it is actually a lot of hard work and a lot of networking, as you said, also talking to people. That requires a lot of soft skills, I think. So that I think absolutely.
You see, a basic entrepreneur, you need to have, I will say, as they say,
Hmm.
you're right from pure, and you need to know, you need to know almost everything. I mean, because I come from a corporate job, I had to do only that. And then when I became an entrepreneur, I am not good at, let's say networking, but then I cannot not good at it and stay there. Towards
Hmm.
ensure that I improvise. Unless you do that, there's no going. So that's
Right.
actually one of the tributes to my entrepreneurial journey. I think that as a person, I much that if I wouldn't have explored all qualities which I've been able to do so basically.
Right, absolutely. A lot of learnings, and I think a lot of it's a fun-filled journey with its own downs and ups. And I think
Yeah.
if you feel that calling, if you feel it from within, then I think you should definitely go for it. Is what I'd say, and I think you'll agree with that. Perfect. My third question is actually linked to Shark Tank India. So that's something which has been come as a, I would say it's come as a very good thing in the entrepreneurial world, especially in India, because I think 4 5 years before, entrepreneurship was not really seen with that serious eye, but now everyone is serious. Everyone takes entrepreneur, and entrepreneurs are celebrated across the country. So how was it like to pitch on Shark Tank India? What was the feeling? How was it to see the sharks in front, and what was the kind of nervousness, and how did you deal with that?
So I'm very overwhelming journey for us at the Shark because the whole process. There are various eliminator kind of questionnaires that you need to do. So that whole thought process to a very great. The main thing happens, as you rightly said, in front of the sharks. We are not used to the 30, 40 cameras being shot and that will be telecast. No, what's going to come over. And though the telecast happens only, actual interaction happens anywhere 1 hour.
Hmm.
Interaction with five sharks and we as entrepreneurs, I think that has been one of the goals I've ever had in such because um, our it's like a rapid well against say two of us.
Right.
One answer, the next shark is ready with, and each question is what we are doing. It's not a straightforward gathering question. They're
Right.
also trying to. So when someone challenges, we observed at that point of time, we are able to convince them about what, or we are getting convinced about what. So the point that we are able to reaffirmation or this kind of process, and there are certain yes, what they are saying is making this learnings or takeaways which we actually implemented, and we realized difference in our entrepreneurial journey. Probably we would have wasted maybe a year or own,
Hmm.
and that kind of expedited our basically.
Right, that's amazing, and we'd all like to congratulate you because you are one of the. It's hard to qualify first of all. To, as you said, a lot of questionnaires, a lot of screening. So that's a great thing. And second thing, which you also is important to know that you said 1 hour. It goes on for 1 hour, but telecast goes on for like 5-10 minutes, and
Right.
we then like there has been a lot of debate on Twitter. We start framing comments ki, this entrepreneur deserves it or does not deserve it, which I think we should see the back picture and see that okay, it's a 1 hour full conversation that sharks are taking with the entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs
Right.
are saying. So I think that is very important.
And easy to sit on the fence and example when the cricket match is happening, every what
Hmm.
someone should do heat of the moment,
Right.
then doing of course sitting on the sofa television and commenting, I prejudice because yeah, we just know everything that's going on,
Hmm.
and also whole show gets edited in a way that TRP, a
Hmm.
lot of factors are kept into picture. Really, the whole thing right out of it is more to create, but that's not the complete not to make any conclusions based
Right, right. Very well said. Very well said. And in this, I have my next question. That how, like, basically, when we talk about LinkedIn, when we talk about this
on.
platform, I can see that your profile is optimized. You have a proper banner. You have a proper profile picture. You post content. So how do you think LinkedIn has played a role in your life, especially when it comes to being a founder? Has it given you more opportunities, networking, and what would be your tips for other founders as well? Because have you seen any impact of content creation or LinkedIn profile building on your journey?
Certainly, Rahul. I would, in fact, whenever other founder ecosystem, I actually become active on LinkedIn. It is a very, very powerful leverage it properly. You know, as a startup, you are and for a lot of grants, funding, lot of customers, etc. And when someone receives, let's say, 100, how will they make judgment? So your LinkedIn certainly of unsaid information about you, which is not there in the form someone has asked you to fill up or mail that you have sent to someone. People
Hmm.
are active, people do file and they do know you from that. As an entrepreneur, it's important to create and also beyond just your brand, company's brand. Company's brand certainly there's comes into picture. But when you brand, there's a personality attached to it, and that I whenever I personally have to go and meet someone and when I myself or tell something more about myself, following you on LinkedIn and we know what all you've cut the whole directly to the point that you wanted to then
Hmm.
trying to articulate. So I think it's a very powerful network, very good cover page. It's important. People are judging. Say people, they don't think of people judging you in a negative way. Negative way. And I have seen right creating content because they have. But what I'm trying to say, actually observing you, they're evaluating the kind of work, and that I will does 20% of your job whenever you are approaching for any new involved and basically. So I assertive and no,
Right. That is amazing, and I believe in the same because I think right from college student to entrepreneur, it's very important to leverage LinkedIn because there's opportunity for everyone out there,
true,
and especially
true.
in entrepreneurship, like you very well said, having a brand is one thing, but forming that connect is another thing, which happens the best I think to personal brands because it's like talking to other people out there.
Because
Amazing.
see, end of the day, people, right? Though the
Mm.
business is house, but end of the day, it's two people negotiating and interacting. That personality or that bond all that makes the job a lot easier, basically.
Absolutely. So I think people who are watching this, if you have not yet started working on your personal brand, I think this is your kick. Please start working on that, and that will give you multifold returns. And if you, I've heard this a lot that we want to, but we don't have content ideas. So I think the best content idea is you can take a screenshot of this session, post your learnings, tag Kirti, tag me, and I think that becomes your idea. So I think ideas are in your environment, in your observation, and you just need to implement it and be proactive about it is what I personally feel about
Once
content.
you decide to write across many such ideas on a day-to-day matter of getting started with it somewhere.
Absolutely. And this brings me to the next question that you are wearing so many hats. So you are a founder, you are creating content, doing speaking sessions and a lot more things. So how do you manage time? This is the question that whenever I tell founders about personal branding, the only response that I get is time nahi hai. We don't have time. How do we do this? So how do you manage?
So that, that is very simple, Rahul. To prioritize something you can find.
Mm.
So it's all about that prioritization happens when you are doing a particular activity. If my health, when I do the regular exercise, then and once it's a priority, I find time. Same way about content could add by creating content on LinkedIn, save a lot of money in your business. Using the word save a lot of money because I've a lot on social media marketing. So yes, required from you and all, but as a personal create and leverage that for your brand, save a lot of money and generate and that comes to pay for that. So I think you will be able to prioritize it. You can always find time and it is we go for meetings and all I do is I open my phone, post over there. So I'm sure we come across some or the. So I think those are the best times to other if you're not driving. And so there are a lot of buffer there. I think if we prioritize it, if we find time to do that.
Absolutely, well said. I think it's all about, like as you said, going in meetings, finding 5 minutes. It just takes 2 to 5 minutes to post your LinkedIn. And now schedule feature has also come into picture. So if you have an idea, you can just sit down for 15 minutes and
Yeah,
post your 3 days of content based on your
true.
observations. So that is great. And I just hope that in this session, if even one person starts building their personal brand, I think the objective is complete because we can't stress
Absolutely.
enough on the importance of building that.
Get it.
Amazing. My next question to you is actually a wrong question, but it's a sad reality. To be honest, even in Shark Tank, a lot of people have said that, and even Namita, I think, highlighted that it's a wrong question to ask about women entrepreneurship. We should ask what are the challenges of entrepreneurship rather than being a woman in entrepreneurship. But still, since it's a very, I mean, in India, still women entrepreneurship is growing. Uh, Knowledge is growing about that, awareness is growing, but still that confidence in a lot of people is not there. So for all the women who are watching this, what would be your message to them, which based on your journey, which might just inspire them altogether?
Um, so the tricky question, and I think each women to this. If you ask me, first important barrier is
Mm.
that I have been strongly believe in that. External barriers, I think it's the inset barriers that impact. Sometimes we being women in our childhood to believe that priority. My home comes first, my relative, all festivals, everything. See, even men enjoy festivals, men go to social, do work at home. Of course, my husband does. They still prioritize their work. I
Mm.
think the most important, or at least what I have realized over, if I am able to prioritize over other things, that doesn't mean of my life, but I can where I'm able to do my prioritizing my work in that manner. Once we do that, I think we are able to set with people around us. Our own mindset, that is a major. It's okay to prioritize our work, or we think it's okay to. I have some guests coming over at home. People expect you to be that way. You think you prioritize your thing. You think your surrounding also becomes where you have people who can understand one thing, and not just get carried away when you go out for business, right?
Mm.
Work seriously. The give commitments, the confidence with commitments. If that is wrong, think people would want to not do the business with you. So,
Right.
so yes, if you ask me, another point is, we have little cutters, we have more control on mindset. So I think there is a, and slowly and gradually that as I shaped up I it got resonated from the work basically.
Absolutely, and I totally agree. It's all about the mindset, as you said. It's about believing in yourself, and if norms are there, that should not matter if you believe in yourself. I think, and the confidence to believe. I think confidence originates from that belief, and I think everything else follows.
Exactly. Everything
So
else follows. See, already they can go, I'm sorry, but they can go and saying that okay, I'll deliver it tomorrow. We will do it. But when will think I have that I cannot deliver tomorrow. So if you can do it with confidence come from your belief to be able to there's nothing that can.
absolutely, absolutely. So I'm sure all the women watching this will get the, perspective, and might just help them, inspire them to work more and build towards their passion and break all the norms and just believe in themselves. Perfect. My next question to you is, so I have a rapid fire round in the end as well. Sadly, there's no hamper as of now, but yeah, very soon maybe some NFT or something will come. But yeah, so before that, what would be your advice to aspiring entrepreneurs and content creators as well, based on your experience in content creation, based on your what kind of content has worked for you? So some last comments on that, and then we'll get to the rapid fire.
Sure thing. So when I only suggestion is one, think about what you're writing. Social media, especially when we talk about, we have been conditioned to look of thing, but I think LinkedIn platform, it's important to be authentic. Your vulnerabilities, your successes, your struggles. I think your content picks of it. And second thing I think should be your subjective experience follow. So if experienced, I have felt, I have liked my content, not knowledge, that I have as another knowledge kind of thing. So sharing to come from your own personal experience, it becomes more authentic also. When it comes to creating content, important things, be it content creation, say it's important to start. A lot of people hesitate because of all the answers. Nobody has all the answers or all. And as we move on, we figure, so that to be able to trust on our write one post, you cannot think of write put one post. Similarly, in business, you don't know how problems. Okay, take one problem at because to be very honest, we don't even going to face when I look back at problems. But as and when we, I think, have an ability to, as long as of course we are persevering and get to the end goal, I think we should get started without doing too much, being it being a business or
Absolutely, and I think recently I heard Kunal Shah say this very very amazing thing, which kind of correlates with what you said as well. That people in India, youth especially in India, people who are just starting out, especially in India, are worried about their reputation when they have built none. So that hit hard. Like basically, I mean, I've seen so many people thinking about what will people think about the content, or what will people think if I start this brand, or if I start my entrepreneurial journey. But nothing to lose, I mean, and a lot to gain. So I think
people would still think.
absolutely, absolutely. So I think that should be the perspective, and if that is the perspective, then I think all that matters is the hard work that you do towards content or your business or your own self, and that I think will show results in the long term for sure.
Right.
Amazing. So now going to the rapid fire round, I'll be asking you 3 to 4 questions, giving you some options, and whatever comes to your mind, you can say that out, and also you can give a reason of why you chose the same, so
Okay.
that we get to learn from that. My first question to you is, what would you choose personally, impact or power or money?
I think I'll choose power. If you have power, then act very well, and
Hmm.
of everything that you do. So if I have to choose power, because through that I
Right. Smart answer. Smart answer. I have seen people choosing impact, but I think what you said really makes sense because you have power, you can have that ability to make that impact. So that makes sense.
see it's simple. Today on LinkedIn, we have power.
Mm,
In a way, I think the power doesn't essentially mean shares somewhere. Ability to create with that ability. So I think that power sells. So I look at it as an empowering knowledge, empowering ourselves with important, because through that we can create, as I said, yeah, money is a byproduct of that suddenly
yes.
on the
Amazing. My next question to you is, who is your inspiration when it comes to entrepreneurship? Anyone do you look up to?
think, yeah, is an inspiration to many, but I'm inspired greatly by the way we look at. So Steve Jobs certainly is
Absolutely, that is amazing. My next question is, who is your favorite shark? If you have to choose just one.
okay. One, I think Piyush Bansal is because um, I stick thinking my investment. See, after investing, the expectation, there's nothing wrong about it, because that's, but he also looks at other aspects. If an entrepreneur is really capable, business doesn't work, he can still do something else. What kind of impact can this business monetize? So I've seen him do a very holistic thinking, and that's my favorite shot.
Amazing. He's my favorite shark too because I think he's. I've seen him to be having a very practical approach. All the sharks have that, but I think his approach is very to the point, practical, and he has a logical explanation for everything he's saying. So I think that really inspired me, like personally as well. That this perspective is really amazing. And my last question to you is basically, what is the next thing for you? What is the next big thing that your audience can expect? What is coming next?
Yeah, life is always exciting up, but I think the next big things that's businesses, we would soon be launching a ATM machine that we talked about. We are really
Hmm.
excited about it because of its kind of machine in India. And there are machines for automated machine with no manual, its own cleaning mechanism. Singapore and all have some such machines, and I tell people to use it, and I see going through that, and to take sugarcane juice at a global thing. That's something that excites us. Husband, who's also co-founder, challenge probably is able to come. We are still overcoming and coming up with take it further kind of thing.
Absolutely, and we wish you all the very best. We all wish you personally as well and professionally for Canebot, wishing you all the very best. We all are rooting that a brand from India goes international, makes the mark, and kind of makes us proud. That okay, this is a sugar cane brand from India that originated, and
Absolutely.
Americans are kind of obsessed with it. That's
See,
the
we have been drinking Pepsi.
absolutely,
I think
absolutely.
it's high take sugarcane juice across the borders now.
Correct, correct, correct. Absolutely. So, thank you so much, Kirti. It was a pleasure interacting. I would say you have a very positive energy, and I think that is what is also, I'm sure, will be helping you in your entrepreneurial journey as well. You were very humble, very positive, and I think the insights that you gave out, people who are watching this or will be watching this, a lot of insights to work on. And as I said, even if one person gets inspired, the motive of this session is done. So, thank you so much, Kirti.
Absolutely, Rahul. So thank you so much for taking time, and I hope we are able to inspire that. That's something that makes us happy.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much, Kirti. Thank you so much, audience. We'll see you next time. Until then, take care. Bye
Thanks a
bye.
lot. Bye.